Good day, rescue enjoyers. Hope you're right, 'cause it's time for the proper review. Last week we discussed the March 12, 2026 Rust Store, and that means today, boom, we're here for March 19, 2026. So sit back and relax. I'm going to start yapping. So, what was my initial reaction when I first saw this Rust Store? Well, that's an interesting bit of green clothing, but I instantly looked at it and thought, you know what? It might be a little bit too dark green. Plus, the actual green portions seems a little bit too bright. So I immediately jumped in. I started taking a look at it, and I wasn't fully convinced you could consider that green camouflage. But I was noticing that it was the top-selling skin initially, so, well, that might be a bit problematic in the future, but regardless, collection continuations, Tier 2, Tier 3, if they're accepted. Of course, the hoodie and pets will still spuck on spuck price. And of course, the same would apply with the brand new Wasteland Recruit Tier 3. At first glance, it's not an insane looking bit of skins, but it's fine for what it is. Some people initially are like, oh, check this out with a Island Assault. Does it look good and whatnot? It was fine. It's just, if we don't actually see collection continuations for these, there could be problems. It's always nice to be optimistic, but, you know. So, alright. Some brand new clothing and armor pieces, some brand new collections to look forward to. Speaking of brand new collections, Raw Time just keeps on succeeding. We now have an interesting locker. So we saw the barbecue. That was totally fine. A very interesting approach compared to the previous skins. But now we've got ourselves another transparent locker. And it's not the first time we've seen this. Immediately when I saw that, I remembered two very interesting skins from the past. By this point in time, Silver Spooks had made a video showcasing how to utilise transparent lockers on boats. Basically, you can treat them like barricades. You can see through them, they'll keep you protected reasonably. You get the idea. So they actually turned around to become a very nice, profitable skin. Even though for quite a long time, they were down pretty bad. So, alright then. Now that we have instantly a brand new cheap transparent locker, does that mean it's going to instantly succeed? Okay. Well, I tested it out. I gave it a good look. There was a perfectly fine amount of transparency that you could see through. Visibility, it wasn't a problem. So I was definitely starting to consider with that. Another armored double door. Actually, it's two. Oh. But this one has transparency. Glow in the dark, transparent. Do you really need more than that? Well, this one was a fantastic art piece. Porcelain collection has made a return. I mean, it looked special. It looked very nice. And I remembered the sheet metal double door back in December. Just a few months before this, we saw a sheet metal double door being accepted, sold reasonably. Boom. At this point in time, even though it's March, that sheet metal double door was comfortably in the positive. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, how often do people actually use armored double doors? Still, surely that'll work out right regardless. Porcelain collections in demand. People appreciate, people like. But in regards to Protector, whilst this also was a collection continuation, well, at this point in time, we have seen these in the positive before, but they're just kind of there. Again, it's March. We're going for the Easter dip. Would you rather this change things up? Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Deep ruby with some tactical gloves. Big purple glove. Okay, sure, fair enough. Oh, a glow-in-the-dark sleeping bag. A collection continuation to that small box. Now, in the past, during good times, I've noticed sleeping bags work out quite alright if they glow in the dark. Yet, they might suffer initially, but it's expected they return back to their Rust Store price when times are good, even become a nice, interesting, profitable skin. So I'm looking at that, I'm just being a little bit optimistic. I'm thinking, alright, good barter, pick some up whilst you can. In the future, hopefully you flip them for a decent price. So I'll talk more about that in a bit. Oh, whoa, hold on a second. Is that a transparent aim sight redemption handmade LMG? Yep. Well then, I've seen some interesting redemption weapon skins in the past, notably transparent aim sight ones, and they worked out quite alright. Even skins for items that don't really tend to work out that much. I'm talking about for example, skins that don't usually work out alright in general. Now, at this specific point in time, handmade LMGs aren't exactly doing stupendous. Even the blackout handmade LMG, which also happened to have a transparent aim sight, it wasn't doing the best. Was this going to suffer exactly like that? Well, one notable thing with the blackout handmade LMG, it sold a lot. Who knows how much that's going to sell by the its 7-day tenure in the Rust store, but I have to respect it's looking pretty good. A space station barbecue, another space themed skin is accepted. I mean, okay, not really sure what to expect from it. Again, up to this specific point in time, we have seen quite a lot of barbecues all of a sudden. Again, well, it's the brand new skinnable Hedge, true, but I'm still not fully convinced if they're going to work out right in the future. So I was a little bit hesitant. Another SKS. Another notably white SKS. Yes, for the past 3 weeks we have seen a white SKS, No Mercy SKS, white and black, Porcelain SKS, blue and white, and then over to here, Thunder Gold with a lovely gold and white design. I actually tested all three, and well, I looked at this and I thought it was probably the best option. Like, if you were to roam around in the snow with full whiteout, what would be the best option? I did a short video comparing all three. I did think Thunder Gold was the best one. Over the past few weeks, No Mercy SKS, that sold a fairly decent amount, over 20,000. But literally just the previous week, Porcelain, it did sell like 10,000 less. Now this right here, how much is that going to sell? Because if it actually sells less than the Porcelain SKS, maybe that could work out quite alright in the future. Like, Thunder Gold weapon skins, I've seen quite a decent amount of them over the past few years. And basically, when they first initially come out, they tend to dip a bit. But when times are good, oh, they go up in the positive. So if I work around that, maybe I could walk around and potentially make a bit of profit in the future. Ooh. Again, it might be a barter situation. But I will point out, handmade LMG, MP5. Ooh. So, I mean, how low is it actually going to go, Hedge? How low is it going to actually go? So that was a bit of a concern. But I also respected it, so I had to make some considerations. Well then. Oh, look, it's just another HellCore weapon skin. You know, it's another transparent aim sight. But it is a custom SMG. By default, custom SMGs just haven't really worked out very nicely over the past few years. But notably, we did have the Ruin SMG, and that's the very skin I instantly looked at, had a talking point about and whatnot. I made a big fuss talking about how this had a transparent aim sight, it was appreciated, and it actually ended up in the positive. Now, one thing I've always neglected to point out was the Ghost Halloween SMG also has transparency, so you might notice that. Anyway, the vast majority of custom SMGs, they have not worked out very nicely. Notably, Black Custom SMG, that does have some transparency if I can recall, I believe. I mean, let's go quickly remind ourselves. Am I correct to say that? No, it doesn't. It's a blackout skin, and people like blackout collection. So, Ruin SMG did work out, and that came out somewhat recently at this specific point. Surely HellCore will be perfectly fine, considering all the acceptances we keep seeing. So, I mean, I've been very successful for HellCore collection so far. Surely I could still be successful. So, yeah, I'm looking at that with a lot of positivity. And then we have Nuke Vibe. There's nothing really wrong with Nuke Vibe. Personally, I like the style. I think it looks cool. But I acknowledge that a lot of people just don't seem to. At this specific point in time, every single skin was in the negative. So, acknowledging that, I had to approach that with the idea of just doing a barter. So, okay, fair enough then. So, of course, with every single Rust store that we have, I'm always considering what potentially could be the best investment for the week. So, if I could just navigate over to here, I'm looking at the skins. I believe we're up to the first 24 hours of sales by this point, I believe. I'm looking at all of them. I'm making considerations. And the first skin I looked at, that I thought, you know what, surely that's going to be all right. HellCore. I felt so positive and confident with HellCore skins at this point. I was like, oh, I just got to keep buying them. I just got to keep buying them. I've been buying all the previous ones at this specific point from HellCore SMG. Well, not every single one, but the point still remains. I've been buying in. I've been seeing instant continuations. I'm doing good. So I'm kind of thinking, well, you know what? I have to look at that with a lot of positivity. Yeah, it's $3.49, but it is another transparent aim sight custom SMG. Surely that'll be appreciated. But then again, the higher price, especially in comparison to Ruin SMG, could that potentially be problematic? But still, I've been successful so far with it. I thought surely it's going to be okay. So, right. Wrought iron locker. Looked at that. Again, like in comparison to the other transparent lockers, it's doing good. It's a perfectly fine looking locker skin. And if the other two worked out perfectly fine on boats, surely that has to as well. I should also point out, I was fully well aware more wrought iron skins were being worked on. This was definitely looking to become an actual proper deployable collection. So, if we keep getting that momentum, if we keep thinking and hoping that we'll see this actually work out nicely, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be doing better than $2.49. So, okay, well, that's a nice thing to bring up. But what about all the other skins? Well, both the armored double doors were looking pretty interesting. At this specific point in time, they really aren't selling that much. Like, to my surprise, oh wow, this rush store, it's large, there's a lot of interesting skins, and it's not selling that much. So, I'm looking at all of them, and I'm realising both the armored double doors just aren't really selling that much. We've got a pay-to-win, glow-in-the-dark, transparent aim sight. There's no aim sight on this one, Hedge. Just force of habit, sorry. But the point still remains. Pay-to-win armor double door right here. $2.49. I mean, I have to talk about that positively. But, equally, I have to talk about the porcelain armor double door equally. Like, as, a nice investment. That only had just over 4,000 subscribers. And again, the success I have seen with Porcelain Collection previously, I have to bring it up. I have to. Yes, that's priced at $3, but it's a work of art. I just strongly assumed people would be appreciating that as time went on. So, okay. And then I would have talked about the Thunder Gold SKS. A very interesting white design, hardly any sales. You might sit there and say, oh, but surely that's a lack of interest. Well, as time goes on, so as long as we don't see any other interesting white SKS come out, surely that's got to be the go-to option. And of course, I've already mentioned it. By default, if we do see collection continuations for either the hoodie and pants or the tier 3 here, whether it's like tier 2 armor, boots and gloves and whatnot, if we see it happen, they both will spike in spike in price, regardless. Right? So, okay. Lots of interesting skins, but how did everything look with the first 24 hours of sales? So let's quickly hop over to here, and this is what the actual first 24 hours of sales look like. And it quite literally is the exact same that we just saw there a second ago when I was doing my predictions video. So, okay, cool. Top selling skins, Acid Arachnid hoodie and pants. Just under, and well, just over 8,000 subscribers. Huh. That's the top selling skin, really? Part of me looked at that and thought, you know what? I bet a lot of people just assumed it would be good green camouflage, but then when they actually put it on and tested it and used it, they probably found out, oh, hang on a minute, it's a little bit too dark. And, well, the hoodie with the bright green face, it was quite noticeable from quite a distance. So, well, not really sure about that. But the fact that we had so many other skins here with, like, hardly any sales. Wrought iron locker. If I can recall, I was looking at it and thinking, wow, is that going to sell less compared to bamboo cage locker? Bone locker? Oh, well, okay, hang on a minute. That might be pretty interesting. And again, both the armor double doors just not really selling that much. If they don't sell that much, and people like them in the future, guess what? All the better for them to rise up in price ever so nicely. So, all right, fair enough then. So, cool. I was looking at that with some optimism. But how did everything look when we did the abnormal barders? So, let's go over to the night, and boom. Acid Arachnid hoodie and pants, well, just around 17,500 subscribers. Not too ridiculous. Huh. The top selling skins didn't even reach 20,000 subscribers. It's a quiet week. But then again, are people really like raring to go and buy tons of skins when it's the Easter dip. Prices are down. I get the feeling people just weren't optimistic. Rotan Locker, well, seems it picked up the pace. 12,500 subscribers. Alright, fair enough. Still, I was looking at that with optimism. Protector Armor Double Door, just under 12,000 subscribers. For a pay-to-win Armor Double Door, that's honestly pretty interesting. So, alright, cool. Deep Ruby Tactical Gloves, well, just over 11,000 subscribers. It's fine. There's a big question though. It's an incomplete collection. Would it actually work out alright, or could there be some problems? I've seen some of the skins work out very, very nicely, but I definitely recall it's due to a lack of sales. Tactical Gloves here, at this specific point in time, if I can recall, this ended up being the highest selling clothing and armor piece. It only had just over 11,000 subscribers. So, that might be a bit problematic, maybe. And then we have the tier 3 here, literally just under 10,000 subscribers. So, honestly, main point was, sales were low. Do things look a lot more appetizing? Well, let's talk about the price suggestions. So with Acid Arachnid hoodie and pants, at this specific point in time, I'm definitely well aware that we've got the Easter Rush stores coming up. 2 Easter Rush stores in April, the first 2 Rush stores for April 2026. We've got 1 March Rush store less for the month. We're not going to see a collection continuation for a while. Maybe not for at least another month. So I'm kind of looking at this with, a bit of a experienced eyes. I've seen it happen before. We go for a holiday and, when people have to wait, they get antsy. They are impatient and they'll start dumping if they get the opportunity. So, priced at $1.49 each, I actually went with 70 cents to $1. The potential for collection continuation, whether it's tier 2, tier 3, you get the idea. So as long as we see more of it, I was thinking that would still work out quite nicely. But I was still expecting it to drop off. With the Rotan Locker, priced at $2.49, I wasn't sure if it was going to go down like instantly. Again, Easter dip, blah, blah, blah. I went with $1.30 to $1.80. With the Protector Armor Double Door, priced at $2.49, it really hasn't sold that much. I thought about it, I questioned it. I went with $1.50 to $2. I was going in strong. With the Deep Ruby Tactical Gloves, priced at $1.49, well, I mean, Deep Ruby's actually worked out quite alright here and there. Not perfectly overall. I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I'll offer between 70 cents to $1. For Wasteland Recruit, it's not the most eye-catching, super appealing looking design. But again, so as long as we see a collection continuation, all's good. So I suggested 70 cents, 90 cents. I thought having to wait a while probably would cause some issues and whatnot. So yeah. With the sleeping bag, again, a glow-in-the-dark sleeping bag. I've seen it happen many times in the past. Yeah, it's expected to dip initially for a while. But eventually, when times are good again, I fully expect it to recover. I fully expect it to become a profitable skin. Maybe not instantly, insanely profitable, but something interesting that I could still make a profit with. So I actually went with a $1.50 to $2 bar order. Now with the Redemption Handmaiden MG, it only had around 9,600 subscribers. Now if I can recall, that was priced at about, what, $3.49? I thought, you know what? The scarcity, the lack of sales, I thought it could actually work out quite alright. I bring up the point once again. We have had transparent aim sight Handmaiden MG skins. In fact, we had 2 Christmas ones, but nobody seems to care about them. But the Blackout Handmaiden MG, well, that was one of the better performing skins out of the bunch. Still in the negative though. So I'm looking at this Redemption Handmaiden MG, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to offer between $1.80 to $2.50. I was going in strong. I thought, you know what? Maybe it actually works out quite alright. I felt a little bit optimistic. So, okay, fair enough. At this specific point in time, still not feeling confident with barbecues. I thought to myself, you know what? I'll just do 70 cents to $1 for this space station barbecue. Porcelain Armor Double Door, didn't sell that much. 9,200 subscribers at this specific point. Priced at $3. I was going in strong. I said $1.50 to $2.30 if I can recall. Yep, Gold SKS. Gold SKS was a $2.49 skin, and I suggested $1.50 to $2. I was I honestly was feeling pretty confident with it. I thought surely people will appreciate this as time goes on. Then we had the HellCore Custom SMG, priced at $3.49. I thought about it. I thought maybe we'll dip initially for a while. I went with $1.80 to $2.50. Still pretty strong, but not all the way up to its price. I felt optimistic. It's worked out very nicely for me in the past. Surely it could work out for me very nicely again. So yeah, went on pretty strong. And then for the only skin of the week that wasn't abnormal, Nuke Vibe Crossbow, I only offered between 60 cents to 80 cents. So yeah, that was it. Right, so now I've got to remind myself, did I buy anything with this rush store? The lack of sales were very, very interesting. What was the outcomes? How did everything turn out? So in regards to my purchases, I bought 20 wrought iron lockers. I bought 30 protector armor double doors, 30 porcelain armor double doors, 50 Undergold SKSs, and 30 HellCore Custom SMGs. So, alright, let's begin. Oh, didn't mean to do that. How did everything turn out? Let's go ahead and start yapping. Acid Arachnid hoodie and pants. It's doing alright. It's not doing amazing, clearly. We have seen attempts for a collection continuation, but it just hasn't really worked out very nicely, unfortunately. So let's just go ahead and point this out. Brand new skin creator, gets the skin accepted, lovely stuff. Makes an attempt, makes more attempts, doesn't work out, unfortunately. So I don't know what they've done wrong. Maybe they could give it another shot, because they only really did like one attempt for tier 2 and then started doing other things. But I think that might be it. Maybe they thought, no, let's leave it a month or two, wait till the summer, then make a move. Maybe they'll get a lot more sales in the summertime. Wouldn't say no to that. But they only tried tier 2 once, and that was it. I should also point out, when these are accepted, if I can recall, the rock had already been submitted. Yeah, so not sure what's going on there. Maybe you might need to send a message hoping that they go ahead and, make another attempt. But yeah, that's it. So yes, it's retaining to a point, but it's still down in price, as you'll see. So over to here. Let's go turn the extension on. Give this a good look. And yes, sold at $1.49. Sits there right now at $1.20. I'll remind you, I suggest like 70 cents to $1. Did I pick up any? Not that I'm aware of, no. But, well, look at all that support. Look at that. Now, I'm not sure if that was literally on the night. I'm not sure if that appeared like within the first week, but there's a lot of support there. That's not going down in price anytime soon. So maybe people looking at it as a nice cheap green camouflage option. Again, maybe in the jungle, in the shaded areas of a forest, but I don't consider it to be useful green camouflage. Again, you have to be in a shaded spot. But then again, like, if you just wear any dark clothing, notably this, this is a very interesting thing to be aware of in the jungle. Just wear dark clothing. That's it. You're good. That's all you need. So, yeah. It's all right. Filed a suggestion. It's fine. Again, I haven't picked up any myself. Did you? Put for a comment below. Did you buy anything from the rush store? Have you picked up anything with your barders? Wrought iron locker. So I went in strong with this to a point. I did initially assume this was going to suffer, but to be honest with you, it's been doing a very good job retaining ever since it came out. So let's go ahead and give this a proper look. As you'll see with your own eyes, $3, comfortably in the positive. Yeah, we got some people doing this. Silly, silly people. But we did see collection continuations actually being accepted, so let's go ahead and see if we can see that happening. Do you notice any sudden spikes in price? Well, what's this? So, yes. Later in April, we do jump back up again. Yeah, it's doing fine. But at its lowest, it does appear to have been selling for around $2. So, I can confirm to you, I have picked up quite a few of these. But in terms of, is this a perfectly fine, profitable skin? You might get your funds back in a few pennies, but it's not like a dramatically insane profit, is it? So, profitable, but not insane. Maybe got to wait until the summer peaks. July, August 2026. It's around that period of time we expect to see a lot of skins peak in price. as I said, we have seen some interesting collection continuations, and of course, many attempts for more. But does it end here now, or do we actually see it like go further? We saw a transparent sheet metal door being produced. Let's see if Face Punch will consider it. Overall, it's holding up nicely, and in comparison to the other lockers, it is cheaper compared to the other transparent lockers, but it did sell more compared to Bones Cage. So yeah, cheapest compared to these two, but yeah, just holding up, doing all right, no complaints. Did you pick up any of these? Feel free to below. Protector Armor Double Door. Yes, it had transparency. Not the most useful, insane amount of transparency. Well, to be honest with you, it's a perfectly standard amount. Nothing really wrong with that. You can see his head there. Ooh. But I can confirm to you, Protector Collection did recover quite nicely. Now, not the weapons, but clearly all the doors. Yes. When we saw this, things just improved greatly for all of them. But these, we even saw a barbecue, but yeah. Anyway, the funny thing is, after this appeared, literally the very next week, oh look, another transparent design, which glows in the dark. It's space themed. Oh boy. So that happened. Protector Armor Double Door, it did initially suffer for a bit. But after a while, things just started to improve. So as we sit here, May 2026, I can confirm to you, quite a lot of skins are rising up to brand new all-time peaks, and I'm not really fully sure why. So yeah, suffers around the middle of April, down to around prices of $2, but then it just slowly, steadily keeps on rising up in price. What? I'm not going to complain. I'm happy with that. So, all right then. Worked out all right. Hopefully it does even better. But it is a profit. So, no, cool. No complaints there. What about my barter suggestion? Yes, I did pick up quite a few of these. So, no complaints here. All is good. Did you succeed though? Feel free to comment below. Deep Ruby Tactical Gloves. Wasn't fully sure how to approach this. Again, I will remind you, compared to the other clothing armor pieces, this has sold the most. And yet, it's retaining. That's it. It's just doing okay. So, alright then. Yeah, alright. Better than a massive loss. No complaints here. So, yeah, it's just retaining. Seems the majority of barters are basically happening at around the, the highest barter price. So, I guess you can't really sit here and say it's a success. With the barter suggestion I gave, I mean, you could have probably offered a little bit more. It's fine, but yeah, could have offered a little bit more. So, did you pick up any yourself? Feel free to comment below. Now we have Wasteland Recruit. So I do recall, for a while, things weren't looking like amazing. But then people noticed the collection continuations being produced. So you'll notice a bit of a buyout at a certain point. Yeah, so I did this buyout. And since then, it's just been slowly going down. There was a lot of hype. People honestly assumed, oh, surely, we're going to see a collection continuation actually happen. No. We saw the hoodie pants being produced. We saw the tier 2 being produced. No. Maybe Skin Creator needs to attempt boots and gloves, give this another shot. But he instantly went and made hoodie and pants in tier 2. He didn't space it out. He didn't pace himself. So instantly that competes with each other for a spot, doesn't it? So, well, I'm not upset. I just stuck with my buy order. I played it safe. I actually managed to pick up a couple pieces, but that's it really. Overall, it is what it is. I looked at it. I noticed it wasn't super flashy. I noticed it wasn't super in your face. I could tell people weren't going to be super thrilled about this in general. But based on what I'm looking at with this, yeah, it's just basically matched up to expectation. To be honest with you, I was basically expecting it to be below $1 by now. That was my initial expectation. If we didn't see a collection continuation, oh boy, that might be problematic. Still down, but not as down as I thought it would. So, no, fair enough then. My buy order is too low. Curse of the Drowned Treasure Bag. I expected it to go down to around $2. I expected it to drop off by about 20%. Oh, look at that. So, I'm pretty sure it did get cheaper. Let's just quickly confirm that. We have seen an interesting couple of sleeping bags so far this year, if I'm correct. Let's just quickly confirm that. Yep. 4. Glow-in-the-dark bag here, glow-in-the-dark bag here. Down 18%, down 21%. Ah, yeah, I've noticed the pattern, and it seems to be working. So as you can see, 24 listings, looking very thin. Guess what happens when loads of people turn up again? I have reason to believe that the glow-in-the-dark bags might be bought out. Just saying. So at its cheapest, it seems it was selling for around $1.30. So, okay, we can confirm that. But as you'll see here, the support for it is keeping it up to a point. Whilst it's down a price, it's not going down that bad. So, okay. I'm not upset. But the potential success, I can't show it to you yet because we've got to wait until, well, for another 2 months, the summertime. So, yeah. As of now, I'm pleased with where that's at. I had an expectation. It's met that expectation. Cool. But in terms of the actual part where I make the profit, I've got to wait a little bit longer. Oh, well then. I thought about buying some, but I opted out. I thought, nah, surely it still goes down in price. No, that is the only handmade LMG right now that's currently in the positive. Can I get a confirmation of that? It is the only handmade LMG skin right now that's in the positive. So yes, pay to win, transparent aim sight, but it's not the first one to have a pay to win transparent aim sight. And yet still, look at it, perfectly fine in the positive, lots of support. I'm kind of surprised. But then again, it really didn't sell that much. Maybe I could offer more, but then again, I was offering quite a lot. I'm pretty sure it's the highest bar order, like solid, fat bar order, if you know what I mean, like more than 10 requests. Well, you worked out nicely. Props to you. I guess I should just have more faith in redemption. I should have just had more faith in redemption. Look what's happened to me. Well, there you go. I lowballed it too much. Didn't work out for me. But this did. Oh, yes, this did. I looked at you. I thought lots of positive things. I remembered the sheet metal double door. I remembered how that just worked out beautifully. And right now, that's basically more than double in price. So looking at this, to see it in this position, it's not as good in comparison to sheet metal double door. That's still good. That's still nice. I have no complaints. I'm very happy with what I see there. And the hope is we see it rise up even more. So it can confirm to you it's sitting there at just over $4. There's a $3 skin. Just worked out very nicely. What did it sell at its cheapest? I guess this cheapest is around the beginning of April. That's got to be around $2.50. Yeah. Well, it's selling for more than that now. Comfortably. So, yeah. I respected the arts. And I acknowledge that this has turned out to be quite the success. Couldn't really do anything else about my barders, though. I'm pretty sure I did pick up a few. But, of course, I did buy some straight from the restaurant as well. So, I'm happy. Abnormal barders proved to be quite the success. So, Space Station Barbecue. I didn't respect barbecues. I just thought, no, surely. It can't be carried simply because it's a space theme skin, right? Well, look at that. So we have had quite a lot of barbecues ever since they first became skinnable, as you'll notice. But the space theme one is the top performer. It is doing the absolute best. So, okay. In terms of like growth, percentage and whatnot, yeah, that's been doing very nicely. A lot of space themed deplorables have actually done very, very nicely ever since we saw the space station theme skin. So, okay. I didn't offer enough with my barder. But then again, it looks as if it's been above its rust price for like its whole existence. Regardless, I offered too low. That's on me. So, well, did you buy any straight from the rust store? Are you happy about this? Feel free to below. So, alright, hardly any sales. A notable theme that people appreciate. It's doing good. I got it wrong. But then we have Thunder Gold SKS. I did buy 50 of these. I also put down a very good barter, and yet slightly down in price. Now, we have reason to believe there might be a White SKS Twitch drop / kick drop at some point in the near future. We have seen something notably on the workshop, but for now, this probably is the best white option for an SKS for the current moment. There's only 21 on listings. Only 21 listings, and only a few of them, when they sell, boom, it's in the positive. I have reason to believe this will be succeeding when it's the summer peaks. I have reason to believe when we go through post-Christmas 2027, that'll be in the positive. That does look as if it's going to work out very nicely. But wow, where's all the listings? Well, seems to be doing perfectly fine. It's holding up nicely. It's doing all right. So, cool. I'm not upset with that. Although, what was its lowest price? Seems its lowest price was actually somewhat recent. Seems we saw sales at just over $1.50 at one point. Now, again, someone could easily just list something for $1.50, and if this bar is going above it, it just gets absorbed into it. So, yeah, I think some people weren't fully checking the price of the skin, just unloading it for a super cheap price without realizing what was going on. But then again, you could look at liquidity. Well, that's 19 sold, 18 sold. I feel like that's done a perfectly fine job. So, all right, I bought some. I'm happy, but maybe I could have offered a little bit more of my barter. It is what it is. I said I had the faith HellCore Custom SMG was going to do all right. Boom. It's perfectly in the positive. Sold at $3.49. It now sits here on the Steam market at $5 a piece. But of course, we should look at this and just like keep track. You did sell like above your Rust price, right? Forever, right? Over the past 2 months, I can confirm to you, it did get cheaper. We have seen sales of about $2.50. But then after that, it's been rising. So yes, as of now, it's almost $5. Barter's above its Rust price. It looks alright. But when times are bad again, I'm talking October time, wouldn't surprise me if it probably suffers a fair bit. But did we see anything else after this? I can't confirm to you. It took a while, but we did eventually see hoodie and pants. There was an attempt for a transparent aim sight M249. Facepunch did not want it. The consecutive acceptances did stop for a while, but we did eventually see the hoodie and pants. As of now, positive. As we get closer and closer to the summertime, could we see a few more positives? Could this be a fully complete positive collection in the future? With it being a black alternative option, I won't be surprised if we do see more clothing and armour eventually. I'm not sure if it's going to dramatically impact the custom SMG anymore but not going to be opposed to it, so. Right, that proved to be a success. Maybe I could have offered a higher price with my barter again. It is what it is. It's a perfectly fine looking skin in a perfectly fine position. And then the Nuke Vibe crossbow. Didn't really expect much. Wasn't feeling very positive. Went for low ball barter. Maybe I should have offered a little bit more because it is still staying above $1. But how many sales did you get in the past 24 hours? 5. Yeah, that's not that much, is it? No. So, yeah. What was your lowest sale price? It does look as if it sold for around 80 cents somewhat recently. Yeah. So, yeah, didn't really expect much. Haven't picked up any with a barter. It is what it is. So, honestly, overall, my expectation of a lower price did basically match up. It's just I didn't offer high enough. So, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much everything. To be honest with you, quite a lot of skins on point. I had expectations. They all mostly, matched up to them. In some instances, I just didn't offer really that much, or enough, is what I should say. So, okay. So, I had hunches. I respected style, and I have succeeded because of it. But ideally, I think I could succeed a little bit more. I think I want to hold on to some of these skins a little bit longer, hoping that they go back up, potentially even higher a little bit more. So, back up? Well, up. Whatever, you get the point. I want more profit. I'm going to wait a little bit more. I'm going to be patient. So let's get a nice little preview for the next week after this. And Naval Camo Tier 3. Ooh. So that essentially completes that collection. Will the Tier 3 match up to the sales we saw the Tier 2? And of course, the hoodie and pants. And of course, there's another glow in the dark, transparent, pay to win armor double door. And it's space themed. So, yeah, okay. Wow. Oh, Apotheosis gets a collection continuation. Wow, that's the most expensive bed we've ever seen in a Rust store. Maybe it won't sell that much. Oh, look, a transparent fridge. What? Yep, that happened. Transparent fridge. Another wrought iron skin has been accepted. Oh, and then we had the barbecue with the sharp teeth. Oh, yeah, that's a clever idea. You know, just don't get your hand stuck in a huh? So, yeah, a very interesting Rust store to discuss next week. But for now, that's a wrap on this Rust store. So, once again, did you buy anything from the Rust store? Straight up, or buy orders? Feel free to comment below. Best luck with you and all of your investments. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.